Our recording. Hello, everyone, and we're going to share our screen here. I am so excited this morning to have Spencer Robbins on the phone with me. Spencer is a new silver. He's a wonderful gentleman with his wife, Monica. I love them both dearly. And Spencer, would you tell us a little bit to start with just about your background, so where you come from, you know, why you're choosing Nikken as your vehicle for the future?
Sure, you bet. Well, way back in the day, I graduated from college in accounting. Quickly learned that accounting was not for me, but I belonged in sales and promoting and so forth. So I began a long career in real estate and gotten into a couple of other areas of sales as well. So taking care of customers and just really helping them get what they want has always been just really kind of like what my sweet spot for me. I always have enjoyed that very much, so helping others.
And you are great at that. And the two of you are so inspirational to me because you're always full of energy, full of love. And we're going to talk about that as we go through our slides today. So everyone, thank you for being on. We love having you with us. And I love this call because it's called How to Lead. And I think it's so important as a collaborative entrepreneur, especially with the word entrepreneur, that we learn how to lead ourselves and lead others. And it's critical for our industry. So I love this first slide. Ben Woodward put these slides together, and I think they're just delightful. And this is just everything to me because it's about being the light, you know, having your batteries included, and then going out into the world and sharing with others and lighting up other lights. What do you think about that slide, Spencer?
Well, I think it's really, I like it because the image that I get, the thought of it is obviously you have a leader that stands out and that lights up, but also with the unknown wires above the picture, I can visualize that that light can connect with those other dead bulbs and bring light to them as well. So I think that's a neat picture. It stands out, and then they can share its connectivity and its energy to bring light to those other bulbs. That's a neat picture for me.
That's right. And you made me think of a whole other possibility, and that's where does that light get its light? You know, what are those connecting, where do we go? And that's sort of our connection to source, our connection to spirit, to God, and that's really what brings, right? The word enthusiasm, being enthused, being inspired by the spirit, really. So I never thought of it that way, but now I'm seeing it. So thank you for that. That's a good point. Great point. All right, so you haven't seen these slides before, Spencer. I've sort of touched a little bit with you on what we go through, but in this half hour, it really is about leading by example. If it's going to be, it's up to me. And as people can see in here, some of you may have seen this, some of you may not, there's these very simple points. Being proactive is absolutely critical, being goal-oriented, showing versus telling, and communicating your vision. And so I'm going to just throw this out to you, Spencer. Wherever you would like to dwell on this page, I'm trusting you here as a great leader, as somebody who inspires me. What do you see here with this?
Well, you know, the first thing that comes to me, as you said, having never seen these, as the fellow there is grabbing the hand of the other person, I remember an expression that the pack is only as fast as a leader, and the leader, you know, and that's where they go. Where you lead, I will follow. And some of those kinds of things, references come up. So I certainly see that. So thank you, Julie, for being that person grabbing my hand and pulling me up. So that's I love that, and I love the idea of being able to do that for others as well. And to be proactive means you've just got to get out there. You've got to get out there and start grabbing for hands and start pulling those that want to get pulled up. There's another expression we've heard before, that you can't push a rope. You want to find people that are looking to climb and looking to go. So I like the idea that that hand is reaching out. The lower hand is reaching out to the leader, and it's a good thing. It's a great thing because they want to go. They want to be pulled, and so that's a great. And with this business and with this business model, it's just perfect for that. It's just perfect that image is just a perfect example. Ben did a great job of that to show how the leaders pull everyone else up who want to get pulled up. So I love that. And the whole idea of being goal-oriented, you were going to say, so please do.
No, go for it. Yeah. I mean, I'm hearing everything you're saying, and I'm thinking this is something we love with network marketing is that it
Yeah.
is collaborative, that we're all coming together, and that you can run with someone, you can help someone up, but they've got to want to get up, right? He's got to want to get up there. He's got to move his body getting up there. It's not like he's just a, dead weight, because that doesn't work.
Yes, he showed up to want to get to the top, and he and she showed up to get to the top. So that's critical. And to show versus tell, I think is hugely critical because you've got to show that you can get there. You've got to show that you can be the one to pull and to lift people up. If you tell someone about it but never do it, it's like you're getting ready to get ready, and that's isn't nearly as effective of leadership. And I just think that you're a great example of that too. You just don't encourage and tell people how they can improve. You show them how they can improve. So that one resonates all over. And to communicate your vision, man, we all have our own personal visions with what we want out of life. But to be able to share the vision of Nikken with all of our people, all the lives we touch, and to be able to intertwine that with our own vision is so powerful, because we've got such an incredible opportunity with Nikken here that we can there's probably 50 ways that we can spin a certain vision that we might each individually have that we can communicate. And so it allows for a lot of flexibility, because it is the 5 pillars, it's such a solid arena to keep moving forward on, that we can find a vision. And speaking for myself, if I'm thinking of a vision and then all of a sudden, you know what, I'm thinking this other vision, I'm kind of trending towards that we've got such a great umbrella that we can move around and we can communicate our vision and I can run it by you, I can run it by Dave Johnson, I can run it by Ben, I can run it by anybody in our team, up or down, sideways, doesn't matter. Everybody wants to help spread our vision. Everybody encourages our vision. It's another great thing about Nikken, and be able to lead by example.
So you and we talked about your vision just yesterday. So if you were to communicate just in a couple of sentences what your vision is, your vision for yourself, for Nikken, for others, for our world, what would it be?
Well, my vision would be to be able to help as many people as possible, and to be able to bring Nikken into the lives of those that aren't aware of it, those that are afraid of it, and those that don't quite understand the power that Nikken is. And by the simple point that the vision of Nikken and my vision with Nikken is that, guys, and anybody who wants to listen, this technologies, it's natural. It's all earth. It's earth, wind, and fire, and water. It's just all earth. And so I want to strive to make it as simple as possible so people can understand it, that this isn't it's not a potion. It's nothing more than Nikken's ability to bring the Earth's power into technology and to share that. And so that's really my business, to share it with as many people as possible, and then to be able to give back through resources as much as possible, because of the Nikken business plan as well. Because there are some times where income, and I think Mother Teresa said it best, or who was it? I'm losing my words now, but someone said that you can reach more through $50 than you can $1. And if you have the ability to give tremendous amounts of money, 5,000, 100,000, whatever it be for you, then you can do more to those folks that need the help.
Absolutely, absolutely true. I was just talking to Dave Johnson just before this call and just saying, energy medicine, I mean, that is our future. That is the future. And so we're helping people shift their mindsets from an entrainment into an old style, of taking care of their health, to a really new, very proactive self-care program. And it's so exciting to bring that vision to life. I had a prospect here yesterday, and we did some amazing things. He's in yoga with me, and he's 75 and he's losing his balance. So we put the bands on, and then we were both, standing there, and I was like, try doing tree pose, right? Tree pose is a balance pose, not an easy pose. He was doing it and he couldn't believe it. He said, I haven't done this for years. because he was balancing perfectly. You know, and then he asked me, what is your vision, Julie? And I told him what my vision was of a healed world and a peaceful world, because each person was empowered with their own energy system, empowered to live a really great, beautiful life. And we just sat and talked about vision, you know, a lot. And it was just beautiful. And he got so inspired. He's already a very inspiring man. And he went out with some products with it, and he was so excited. So, you know, this is what we do. We share with people, new people, every single day, and we lead by example. So we're going to move on to Leading with Love, which you're fabulous with. Leading with Love, charity never faileth. I love this image, and this is about showing love and respect, two essential qualities for motivation, great motivators, building belief in others, and using the model for success, which is the Nikken model for successive achievement, and celebrating success, you know, being our team's greatest champions and cheerleaders. And you and Monica are you're just wonderful in these arenas. So tell us about that and how you've learned through all your personal growth work with, you know, all these different people you've studied with through the years, you know, the Nightingale Conant series and all of that. Tell us about this slide and what you do and how you do it.
Sure, I'd be happy to. On the first one, the love and respect, when I was, we met several years ago, I was in the San Francisco Bay Area and in the real estate business. And there's a lot of ethnic diversity. And I remember at that point realizing that I worked my best to be able to pronounce the last names of some of our the foreign folks that were there. And trust me, they had some great names. But I felt like, you know what, the name is important to them. I'm going to do my very best, even though it's not a name that I would know how to say. I'm going to do my very best to learn how to say it perfectly. Nice. And they really appreciated that, because I felt like, you know what, their name is extremely important to them. So I want to show them, in a sense, love and respect by making their name, getting it properly. I know that seems like a little thing, but it was kind of a foundation of if I can get their name right, I can surely understand that everything that they bring to the world, I want to love and respect them for, and I want to just show love and respect. And I've always felt like we all have value. All of us on the planet, we have value. So many of us don't know the value we have. And so I've always felt very strongly about building a belief in others, about making them feel that they are the most important person in the world, because to them, they are the most important person in the world. And I just wanted to always help that feel. And that comes, I suppose, through love and just through that idea about that they are critically important to the world, especially to the world around them. So I always wanted to remember that. And with the model of Nikken, my goodness, I've touched a bit about that. It's fantastic. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, as the slide says here, Julie, but we just get to connect with it and understand it and learn it. And you know, and the whole idea of the model for success, we have Nikken. We have all of the fabulous technologies, all the things that we can learn to talk about, all the significant points and areas that if we're talking to someone and they bring up something, we have in our tool bag. And I know that Dave Johnson is a credible resource for that, as well as you are, Julie, because you've been with Nikken for so long. You've heard of almost every situation. And so I think it's important to study those kinds of things. I also think it's important to study like Eric Worre or Big Alice Ryder, just pure network marketing ideas, because those guys are making the model of network marketing more relevant for today. And it's not your grandfather's or your daddy's business anymore. It's a new thing today. And so I think it's important to really study the way that network marketing works. I really do. Yeah. Yeah.
And we're really leading the field of network marketing in that with our, you know, hybrid model of retailing and building a network, both those areas. This is the future of network marketing. And I always love it that Nikken is right on the future of things. I'm a very futuristic type person. I see into the future, and then I want to bring that good future into the now for our world. And so I'm thrilled that we've had these changes that are really supporting where everybody will be moving. And we're just kind of leading the pack. So I like that a lot. I love what you said. You always exemplify a person who does show love and respect. Ever since you and I first met, I always feel good when I'm around you. And also with Monica, your beautiful wife, I just always feel good around you. And I noticed that. And I think that's a key quality to help people, who are building a business can you make others feel good around you? Can you have them feel uplifted, supported, getting their name right? Really, it's like what was that book? My mom gave it to me when I was a teenager, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And the name was a big part of that, right? That was, and then Jim Rohn, he's fabulous. And he's always about, loving and respecting others. So it's about building teams, and it requires that. So I love that. And it's not ego based. It's soul based. It's spirit based. And you're always that way, Spencer. And that's why I love hanging out with you. I love helping you go silver and helping you go gold. It's just fun because you're still like that and you make everybody feel good. So thank you for that. And so, okay, let's move on and to leading with confidence. You can't give someone something you haven't got any more than you can go back to some place you've never been. Now, we can see the visual, and I know this is new to you. This is the girl here. She's got the word impossible. She's crossed out the I am. So everything is possible, possibility thinking. And I love that, infinite possibility thinking. And then down below here, it says, start with you. I cannot govern others when I cannot govern myself. I think this is a very, very important point. And then building self-esteem, building self-efficacy, and thinking positively. So I'd like to spend a little time here on this slide. I think it's a very important slide. And this starting with you, governing ourselves. I think this is sort of the key thing. This is what Gandhi always said, be the change you want to see in the world, right? Not blaming others for things not working out, but being the change. And he was such a great example of that. I remember the story when the mother brought the child and said, how can I get my child to stop eating sugar? And Gandhi says, well, come back in a week or 2 weeks. And she says, he wouldn't give her an answer. And when she came back, he gave her a response. She said, why did you make me come back a week or two later? And he said, because I hadn't stopped eating sugar. So I didn't know how to respond to your question. And that was really powerful. So let's talk about that. What does it mean to govern yourself emotionally, mentally, physically?
Well, when I think of that, I go back to one of the things that I wanted to do. It's always, if you want to change someone else, change yourself first. And I know that's been used in different fashions for a long time. And so I felt like that when years ago, I wanted to start improving myself. So that's when I started getting into the improvement tapes, listening to those kinds of things. We're back to Earl Nightingale and Bob Proctor, Anthony Robbins. There's so many great coaches we have out there, current coaches, Brendon Burchard. So I felt like I need to make sure that I'm improving myself constantly, forever. I feel like that, and I've said this for years, that if I'm not learning something new every single day, it's because I'm not paying attention. And I've always felt like, it's not about everybody else coming to my terms. It's about me just improving and continuously improving myself. So that's what I think about when I start with you, because it is critically important. I mean, if someone has been a successful whatever for years and years and years, and all of a sudden they're getting connected now with network marketing, or Nikken specifically, it's important to me, because the way the world was before, being an employee is not about being with Nikken. It's just a different mindset. So, a lot of great people need to start with themselves on improving themselves to have a great career with it. And the great thing is, everyone can do it. There's so much wonderful information out there that they can learn from and add on to what they already know.
Absolutely. And learning one new thing a day. Wow. That's quite the challenge, isn't it? Learning one new thing a day. I love that. Yeah. So what about self-esteem? How did you build that? I know we've talked before about one of the books you've read that I haven't read yet, The Inner Game of Selling. And I think that also supports the confidence and self-efficacy. Tell us a little about that.
One of the premise of the Inner Game of Selling is it's literally the psychological side of things, and that is how do I feel about myself? How do I feel about the goals I put down? Do I even have goals to put down? What do I think I want to be in 5 years, in 1 year, in 10 years? So how do I want my life to look like when it's all finished? So the self-esteem comes from really kind of breaking down where we are now with our self-esteem, because we have to have a benchmark and a measuring point to really establish, so how do I feel about myself? And then go from there. And the self-esteem really helps dig into setting those goals to helping others. Because I think that if we're helping others and we're actually seeing a change in others, that is a natural way to build our own self-esteem. You feel good about contributing to someone else. And I think that's critically important. But you also have to feel good about yourself in the same fashion. So building self-esteem, I think, is really, really important, because you have to come across with somebody that you like yourself, that you're comfortable with yourself, you're comfortable in your own skin, to be able to be an attraction to others. And I don't mean it in the anything more than just someone that you want to kind of be around. So I think that building self-esteem is critically important in that regard, to build your self-esteem. And there's lots of great ways to do it. And again, the inner game of selling for me was a great way to help measure where I really was with people. But also in that book, just a little bit differently from self-esteem, is how to gauge others. I mean, is someone an analytic? Are they a promoter? Are they a controller? Where are they? And I think that the more successes that we have, that also helps build our self-esteem. So if we prepare ourselves with the proper tools to really be able to understand who I'm talking to, who are you, potential prospect, that will go a long ways. And that's, again, as a learned process that we can be able to recognize people's personalities. Again, that's not necessarily brand new, but this book does a nice job of kind of help breaking it down. Especially
I can't wait to read that one. It's going to be really fun to read that. And I know, because we've taught a lot about those 4 quadrants, type of people. And then some people are a couple of them. And you love speaking in front of people. You're a natural promoter. You're naturally enthusiastic. And of course, birds of a feather flock together. So you and I, it's easy for us to get on. And Monica is too. So that's just fantastic. So, I was thinking, actually, when you were speaking, there's something came to my mind. When we were on our Team Kaizen, Team Tai Chi trip to San Francisco, I mean, I have to say, we were treated like kings and queens. It was phenomenal. Like, everybody needs to get into Team Kaizen and Team Tai Chi, because you want to be on the next trip. Trust me. It's Cabos and Lucas, and we're going to do some amazing things. We're already talking about it. But one of the things Kurt said to me was so interesting. Kurt Fuller, our CEO and chairman, he said, I've been watching you all. And he said, you all just are amazing at connecting with others. He said, you're just so love connecting with others and meeting them and learning about them. And he said, it's I think he was really intrigued by watching us. And it was funny, because the lady who took us on our tram ride, our cable car ride, by the second day, Peter, he's in my team, he's a platinum, fabulous guy, had already prospected and was sponsoring her by the second day. And Kurt was looking at this, watching, going, wow, you guys are amazing, and it's because we're not stuck in our own self bubble. We're really reaching out and looking at the world around us and saying, wow, who's in the world and who would I like to play with? And, it's like kids on a playground, right? I remember when I first found Nika, and I was like, this is the best playground I've ever found. I want all my friends to join me on the playground. It's like, I've got the bucket and the spade and the slide, and come and play. And that's always how I've approached the business, playfully and not getting heavy and down about it, but because sometimes people, when they talk about business, they get kind of heavy with it. And I think being light spirited is a good thing, because I think there's enough heaviness in our world, with all that's going down, that we don't need more heaviness. We need a heartfelt, light, but smart way of communicating. And you do that beautifully. So I'm watching our time. We have about 5 minutes. So thinking positively, Spencer, this is about creating positive affirmations that can help you to develop. Now, when you were going silver recently with Monica, what were you doing, and what are you doing now for going gold? What kind of things do you create for yourself?
Well, certainly we take the lead from others, which again, fabulous to be able to do that. We had I will be silver by the particular day. You know, we had those written posted all over the place, and we had them in our car. We had them on our mirrors in our house. We had them on you know, several places. We had them on the refrigerator. So we just wanted to think and act as if we were silver, and that upon that day it was to be. And so we're doing the same now with gold. And the other thing we also recently did, we bought our 5-pack to San Antonio, because we are gold, and our goal is to be able to be announced and walking across the stage as gold. And so we made a commitment to that. And so, you know, that's the positive thinking that you know, we have on that, is that this has got to happen. This is going to happen. We don't know necessarily who is going to help us get there, but it's going to happen. And Monica has been such a great partner. She loves to do the back end, behind the scenes stuff, the social media. She loves that. She's great at it.
Yes.
And yeah, so it's great to have that taken care of. That thought reminds me of the book, The E-Myth by Gerber, Michael Gerber. And whatever we do with our business, with our Nikken business, there are several areas that need to be taken care of. And if we don't take care of them, somebody else needs to. And so that's why, you know, it's fun for Monica and I as a partnership here to be able to kind of decide who gets to wear what hat. Now you, Julie, you've been able to do it all. So, and that happens a lot. A lot of people.
No.
Yeah,
That is not true. I do my best, but no, there's
you do your best. There you go.
I'm not good at. But you guys are like doing what we call divide and conquer, which is she does a fabulous job on social media, but she also is lovely in person. And you love to be with people and more engaging with people one-on-one, and also in the big groups. So I think you've got it covered, and I absolutely, you're Beagle. There's no question. And you do find high quality people. I've noticed that about you, that you know, we always want to say sponsor up. Sponsor up. We want to sponsor people that are bigger, brighter, better than we are. And that takes a self-effacement, you know, not being egotistical, like I've got to be the best one, but being like, oh, you do better. And I always feel that about you. It's like, you do this way better than I do. So, you know, it's really fun to uplift you, to support you, because you're already so on your way. And you've done so much work internally with people like Jim Rohn and all the others. And I know every time I mention someone like Brendan Burchard or someone, I say, I'm doing this, you guys are on it faster than I am. You know, we did the acceleration program. I said, let's do it. It's you know, it was the beginning of the year, and you guys were in it and doing it and finishing it. And I haven't hardly started it yet. So it makes me laugh, you know, like I'm like, yeah, you guys are leading us. And that's a wonderful thing to see, you know, and you love Nikken. I know you love everything about it. So that's always, you know, loving what you do, I think is so key, right? In anything and everything is like, why do something you don't love? Because you got to love it in the process to get the result too. You can't just not enjoy something and then want a result. And you love everything about Nikken. So I'm sorry, this is, okay, critical question or two. So this is almost our final slide here. Time for serious reflection. This is for everyone who's on the call. You know, we have a lot of people on the call here. And it's a call to action moment. When you look at the different virtues and attributes of leadership discussed today, which one do you need to work on right now? What will you do differently this week as a result of what you've learned today? Like, for instance, Benson mentioned Eric Worre, for instance. And Eric Worre, I think just recently he did the women's multimillionaire female in network marketing. And I studied that last year and had so many notes that I took from all these women in network marketing, and our business is 75% women. So whether you're a woman doing this and wanting to succeed, or whether you're a man who's going to naturally sponsor lots of women into this business because women love the health and healing and collaborative working together, you know, you're going to need to understand how women do this. So that's just one thing right there. Of course, Eric does many other summits for men and women both. But Spencer, you know, what would just any thoughts on this this final question mark here, this big old red question mark that we have?
Well, the one thing that jumps out at me is like I think most people, when you're in Nikken, especially a little bit newer, you have peaks and valleys. within how your energy flow, your frequency, whatever you want to call it, your vibrations that you're putting out there. And I felt like I was, and Monica noticed it too, that I wasn't, I felt like my vibration was a little bit lower than it wanted to be. And so we made a decision I made a decision that I was going to get out and get in front and do what I do best. And that is, or do what I love to do. And I guess it translates into doing it better, being pretty good at it, is get in front of people. So I made a point to get involved with a whole bunch of Chamber of Commerce events here locally, and just get in front of people and talk. Just talk to people, reconnect with people. And it was fantastic, and it really was a springboard to activity and to just me feeling better. You know, a couple of slides earlier, we were talking about the successes, how that helps with self-esteem. And just get out and build those successes, because success leads to success, and it creates the momentum that we always have talked about. But for me, it was getting out and getting in front of people. So I would encourage people just to, what do you love? Where are you on your journey? You know, are you happy with your results? What can you do that you love to do that's worked in the past? You know, yes. we have that. There's that joke that, gee, it worked so well, I quit doing it. So go back and let's do that. You know, so I think I just had my inner Dave Johnson with that comment, but it's just true. It's just reflect back on what works and reflect back on what you know that you want to work on.
I think that's key. Let's bring forth our own gifts. We all have innate gifts that we want to bring the world, and Nikken is a vehicle to allow us to bring those gifts to the world. And not try to be good at everything, because we're not all good at everything. We all have our different talents, and to really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you, my friend. I am so grateful you've been on this call with me. It's just wonderful. I love you and Monica so much, and can't wait to help you get your gold chip. And everyone on the call, I hope you learned a lot from our beautiful friend Spencer Robbins. And we'll see you in a week. Thank you, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.